Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles, Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is part 2 of the book of Revelation, chapter 18. In part 1, I left off at verse 7, so I will be beginning in verse 8. Lord willing, this will be edifying. This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 8. It says, therefore shall plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Now she is talking about Babylon the Great, aka America. You know, this place is going to be destroyed. It's going to be burnt. The United States is going to be burnt with fire. And the fire is going to be coming from the nuclear missiles along with the chariots of Israel. And it's going to come in one day. This destruction is going to take a single day. In a specific amount of time. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. And this is going into the kings of the other nations. You know, these other nations that became rich off America through importing. They're going to mourn. They're going to cry when they see her destruction. It says, standing afar off for the fear of atonement, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. See? So the destruction of America is going to take 1 hour, 60 minutes. This place is going to be cooked. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Yeah. These nations are going to be weeping when America is destroyed. It says no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Yeah, because America won't be here to buy their goods. Why? Because it's going to be destroyed. America is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. says the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Now, all these that I just read in verse 12 and 13, these are the products these other nations import to America to make their money. And it mentioned in slaves and souls of men. Yeah, because to this very day, you still have slaves being transported, which is human trafficking. It says, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more. Yeah, they're going to be gone forever. Everything that America has is going to be completely destroyed. It says the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Yeah, so these nations that were made rich off America will be watching America destruction. How? Through television. You know, the destruction of Babylon the Great, America, will be broadcasted on TV. It says, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? So these nations are going to be watching the destruction of Babylon the Great, that great city. They're going to be mourning and weeping. And this destruction, as I mentioned, as the scriptures mention, it's only going to take 60 minutes for America to be completely destroyed. And after this place is destroyed, the kingdom of heaven will be established. And these nations will be in captivity and we're going to have all their resources, and they're going to serve us. It says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, which is America, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Now, when it says, and they cast dust on their heads, when someone casts dust on their head, it symbolizes mourning, weeping. These nations are going to be mourning for America, because the place that got them rich by importing, by trading, will be destroyed. This place is going to be desolate. And they mention it again, that 1 hour, 60 minutes. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. For the Most High have avenged you on her. Now, this is all righteous judgment, seeing the downfall of our enemies. And Yahweh Shemel Shah, he's going to judge these nations for what they have done to us. Yahweh Shemel Shah, he's going to fight for us. And he's going to pay all these heathens back for what they have done. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and the Lord's sword is going into the missiles, and also the laser beams that are going to be coming from the chariots. It says, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is the Greek word for Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And we know Esau, Edom, a so-called white man, he was cursed with leprosy, lack of melanin. It says, the sword of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah, is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. Now, the lambs, the goats, the rams, are symbolic for human beings, because America is going to be an altar for human sacrifice. So 2/3 of our people, along with these heathen nations, are going to be a part of that sacrifice. And it's going to go into, it says, for Yahweh Shemel Shah had a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And Basra, modern day Basra, is America. Basra was a land in Edom. And we're in modern day Basra right now. And it's going to be a great sacrifice, a great slaughter. Scripture speaks about the slain of the Lord shall be many. It says, and the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls. It's symbolic. The unicorns is symbolic to wild oxen, which represent strength, mighty. It says, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made with fatness. Yeah, a lot of blood is gonna be flowing in these streets. Verse 8 is the point. It says, "For it is the day of Yahweh Shem Shah vengeance." What is vengeance? Revenge, retaliation. It says the year of recompense, which is payback for the controversy of Zion, meaning this destruction is going to happen for what these nations, especially Esau, Edom, have done to the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners. Yahweh Shem Shah is going to pay all you heathens back because you touched the apple of his eye. You touched his people. Revelation 18:21 says, "And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea." Now, the great millstone is symbolic to the nuclear missiles, the 200 million warheads that's coming to destroy and leave Babylon the Great, America, desolate. It says, "and cast it into the sea." Now, the sea represents the people. Real quick. Revelation 17:15, "And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth," that whore is going to America, "are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." Right back in Revelation 18:21, "And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city, Babylon, be thrown down." Yeah, and this place is going to be destroyed with violence, with great violence, because the missiles are coming to kill, along with Yahweh Shai. He's coming to judge and make war. And it says, "and shall be found no more at all." Yeah, after the destruction of Babylon the Great, ain't gonna be no rebuilding. It's gonna be gone forever. It says, "In the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be no more heard at all in thee." Yeah, because Yahweh Shem Shah, he's going to put an end to mirth for America. And what is mirth? Happiness, joy, pleasure. Ain't gonna be no more of that in Babylon the Great. Isaiah 24:7, "New wine morning, divine languisheth, all the merry hearted do sigh." The mirth of tabret ceases, the noise of them that rejoice ended. The joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with the song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. That's backing up Revelation 18:22. Ain't gonna be no more mirth, no more happiness. The Most High is getting ready to put an end to all that for the wicked. Along with you other heathens. Finishing off Revelation 18:22, it says, and no craftsman, or whatsoever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And we know what is a craftsman. Craftsman is someone who is skilled in a particular craft. And there ain't gonna be no more trades in America. It's gonna be destroyed. Ain't gonna have no mechanics, carpenters, right? None of that HVAC, electricians. It's gonna be done for all that. It says, and the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee. That's going to the doctrines, the philosophies here in America. It's going to be put to an end. It says, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. That's going into mirth. Ain't going to be no more marriage ceremonies either. Jeremiah 16:9, for thus saith Yahweh Shem Shah of hosts, the power of Israel. Behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes, and in your days the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride. Self-explanatory. It says, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And the word deceive basically means to swindle, to cause someone to believe something that is not true. And Esau deceived all the nations through his philosophies and traditions. It says, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that was slain upon the earth. Now, who are the saints? Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh Shem Shah. So the saints are talking about the Israelites, the elect of Israel, to be exact. And we know Babylon the Great, it was built off blood, off the blood of the Israelites, right? This is why this place have to be cleansed by the blood of him that shedded blood. Who shedded blood? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Numbers 35 or 33, going to that. Let's get that real quick. This is Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiled the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shedded blood. So this place is about to get cleansed. I'm going to read this again. Revelation 18:24. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that was slain upon the earth. Yeah, and blood is going to be shed even more. You know, they're going to be, soon come, they're going to be Israelites that are going to become martyrs for Yahushua's sake. Now let's get that. Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. And this is going into the elect, right? Because you're going to have some brothers that be put to death for Yahushua's sake. They're going to be a martyr. And what is a martyr? A person who is killed because of their belief, right? So you're going to have the elect of Israel be put to death for not worshiping, for not bowing down to Esau, Edom, and his system, his new world order, and not receiving his mark. What is that mark? The MOTV. Revelation 13 and 16. And even though you're going to have some of us that be put to death, we're going to be the first one on them chariots. 1 Thessalonians 4, 4th chapter, 16th verse. And we're going to reign with Yahushua forever. But that was the point. This was part 2 of Revelation 18. Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom.